What's up, cave dwellers? I'm Gabe, the Flash.
Oh, it's my turn? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm Drew Poole, a.k.a. Marty.
And I'm Brandon, your comic daddy.
Is that it? Just you're their comic daddy?
Comic daddy.
Okay, well.
The original OG.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
The original tree.
The original three. How's it look on our deal? Y'all look right here on our shirt. Let's do a old school picture of it. Ready? I know Brandon's got us. What's going on, everybody?
All right, let's take these off.
Well, it is, huh?
Let's just take a minute to thank our sponsors, RPG, hiring.com.
RPGhiring.com. If you're in Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Arkansas, or Oklahoma, and you're interested in a new career, not just a job, a career. Also on this career, you can make $500 a day. Now, where would you go to earn $500 a day?
RPGhiring.com.
RPGhiring.com.
Tell Marty sent you.
So what's up, guys? The original three's in the house.
The original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been too long.
It's been too long.
Yeah. How long has it been since us three's been? Almost since the very first.
Yeah, I'm sure people are excited for the version that's been happening.
If someone can find the old videos, I want to see them.
Oh, I got them.
Oh, he's got the old videos.
Yeah, we got the old videos. If you want to see them, I mean, some of them you didn't even have a shirt.
They're just stupid. they're just dumb.
You didn't even have a shirt. You were excited back then when you seen a comic.
You were the shirtless kid.
The shirtless comic kid.
Yeah, it was hot in my room. And we filmed in my room, so yeah.
Well, what is today's topic?
Flea market, the find of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, we went on a little flea market adventure.
Mom and Dad did. I wasn't there. And then when they got home, Brandon was at the house.
What's cool about this? Yeah, Brandon was there at the house.
Brandon was there already. So
what's cool about this is me and Brandon used to go flea marketing, look at flea markets and junk shops and things like that, looking for comics and all kinds of cool stuff. And so, yeah, we just ended up, went on a flea market roundabout, I guess you'd say. Actually, we were just doing a little bit of junk shops and ended up running across this little small flea market. But I guess it's more me talking about this one, but it's more of a every comic collector's dream is to go into a garage sale, an estate sale, or to find a big comic book collection.
Superman number one.
With comic book grails in it.
Yeah, with comic book grails in it and stuff like that. I've been doing this for many years and haven't run across anything like this. How the story went is we were actually just driving, and Misty had actually seen this little shop, and she said, "There's one right there." And I said, "Well, let's go on down to this other one first." And we went down to this other one and ended up leaving and decided to go back to this one little flea market. It was like an old little gas station is what it was. And we went in, we looked around, there wasn't hardly anything in it. It was pretty small. But as we was going out checking out, we had a cross. Misty had a cross, and I was paying for the cross, and I looked over in this little glass case that they had, and I seen, give me that book right there on top. I seen the corner of this book right here. I seen this, about this much of it, and I knew what that book was. It was behind a picture or something like that, a picture frame, And I seen that, and I said, you know what? Can I see that comic in the case? And they had to open up the door and pull stuff out of the way, and they pulled the comic out, and you know, I knew what it was and everything, but you know, it's not in the best of shape and things like that. And they had a pretty good price on it, you know what I'm saying, at the time. And she said, you know, there's several more boxes in the back up on top of this cooler. And I said, what? She said, yeah. She said, she started talking about this guy's collection. And she said, there's 6 or 7 boxes. And I said, well, I'd be willing to look at them if we can get them out. And she said, sure. And so we went around back, and actually I ended up having to move a whole lot of stuff and get in between this wall that they had kind of built and this old, you know, drink cooler or whatever it was for, you know, a big old drink wall cooler. And I had to get up on top of there, and that's where these boxes were at. And after I moved everything, and I started how I done it. I mean, this is one thing about it, you know. Every box that I pull, I was up on top, and you know, I'm standing like this right here, trying to look in, and I just make sure that it's got comics in it. So I opened it up, and I handed it down to her, and I opened it up and handed it down to her, and I just kept handing boxes. Like I said, we found 6 boxes. And when we were handing them down, I just asked, I said, would you be willing to, you know, I don't want to go through them. Would you be willing to go, you know, take a solid, you know, a good price for them, for just the whole lot of them? And then she started telling me about this guy. And, you know, this is something that is very, hits home, you know. She told me about this. She said it was this older gentleman's son's collection that died, and I was just thinking about it and everything. I said, "Do you think he would? You think he'd be interested in selling them all as one lot?" And she said, "I don't know." She says, "I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and you know, we can try to call them." And I said, "Okay, let's try to call them." And while we were talking, she said, you know, this was his son's collection. And you got to understand, I hadn't even looked at the box. I hadn't looked at anything. I had no clue. I just knew there were 6 boxes. Matter of fact, we had set them down over there. I was at the counter with her, and only seen this one right here. I seen, you know, they were, I knew they were early 80s and 70s comics and things like that, just by the 6 ones that were on the top. And they were all in sandwich bags and you know, I mean, Ziploc bags. None of them had the bag and boards. They were just in Ziplocs. So I knew it was an old collection. And she started telling me about the man who collected these, his son, you know, that he died like it was 10, 11, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. And just really didn't know. And she said, I think the old man died too, because they hadn't seen him in a couple of years. And we tried to call, and the phone was disconnected or didn't answer, or busy or something, you know what I'm saying, dun, things like that. And so she said, you know what? She says, if you're really interested in him, let's go over and see if he's home. I know where he lives at. And so we drove over to his house, and we knocked on the door, and no one answered. Went around on the other side, and there was another door. We knocked on it, and finally he came to the door. Came to the door in his boxers. And he was an older man, probably 80s, you know, late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, he looked at her and looked at me, and he acted like he knew me. And it was, he didn't act like he knew her. You know, it was kind of funny. And she said, no, it's me, you know, so, and he thought he knew me. And I said, no, I'm just passing through. And he invited us right in, and we started talking. And, you know, she said he's interested. He wants your comics up there. And the guy looked at her right there, and he said, just give them to him. And, you know, I said, no, I don't. He says, look, I'd rather them go to somebody, to a good home. And we started talking about it and everything. And she then said, no, he's wanting to buy those comics from you. She was the one that owned the store, and he was maybe he's just friends with them or whatever, and just had them in there, and which they didn't have nothing. They hadn't been seen in years. I mean, no telling how long they'd been up there on them shelves. But we started talking about it and everything, and I said, he started telling me about his son, and his son had died several years back. It was his only son, never married, no kids, and it's when we were talking about my boys and what we do and everything, he said, he says you remind me of myself, and he wanted us to have them. I mean, really wasn't money wasn't an issue, and he was really wanting us to have them, and I said, look, I'm wanting to buy I'll buy them. I said, I'll give you $500 for the 6 boxes, and he said, okay, just like that. But I think she actually said he's offering you $500. That's what he said. He's offering you $500 for the boxes at the store, at the shop. And he says, okay. And then he turned around and he said, well, you want these to go with them? And over on that stack right there, he pulled out three comics. I glanced at the very first one, and you got to understand these 6 boxes. This is something that, I want people to understand that, I have ethics and morals about myself and about what we do, and even in the comic book industry, I never would want to, from owning a store years ago, I would never want to what I call screw a person out of their books and things like that. I would never do that as a shop owner. I wouldn't want it to happen to me. I wouldn't want it to happen to my kids. But years ago, and we opened up a store because there was a guy in town that would do that, and we just opened up a store and tried to be. And that was years ago. That's when we was young, and I wouldn't want that to happen to me. So the moral of the story is I had an opportunity to talk to an older man who lost his son, who was a big comic book collector, never had kids, never had, and it was, we spent about an hour talking, and the funny thing about it is he pulled out these 3 books, and these 3 books I knew were good books. One of them definitely. I'll go ahead and show you. I think the first book he pulled out was this one right here, Iron Man number 55, which is the first appearance of Thanos. And then I think that book was next, or maybe it was this book here. And he had those 3 books separated from this collection. He actually had those at his house, but they were just laying on his shelf, and he just they were in Ziploc bags, and he just pulled them out off his shelf. They'd been sitting there probably 10, 12 years. I don't know how long they've been. They've been there a long time, and he pulled those off. Well, I knew that one for sure right off the bat because I seen it. And when he said, you'll want these to go with it, and I said, absolutely not. I said, them are worth thousands of dollars. He says, I know. He says, I know what they're worth. He said, but I want you to have them. And he had tears in his eyes. I had tears in my eyes, and because we was talking about his son and how much his son meant to him, and how much my boys mean to me. And this is something that we do as our, we work all the time, and I'm gone a lot, and Comic-Cons and the comic books and the collecting and stuff like that's something that we do as a family, and that time is priceless. and I knew it was priceless to him too. And he said, you know, what we do for our kids is, you know, it's, and the guys, you know, he's an older man now, and it was just a very good story. And so the good thing is I didn't want to take them. You know, having no clue what was in those boxes, Brandon, it was kind of like, you know, you're thinking in your head what's in there. If those three are in there or come out of there, what else would be in there? And knowing it's been probably 12, 13 years since anybody's even looked in them boxes, we were, you know, I was really curious. And so I said, I won't take them are worth thousands of dollars. I said, there's no way that I could do that. And he pretty much insisted on me taking them. He wanted us to have them, and I said, no. I said, you had those three out. He said, yeah. He said, this is what I want for them. He said, but he said, this is what I was gonna ask for him. I think that's what he had it written down on the list. And he said, but this is what I'm gonna give them to you for. If you're insisting on paying, this is what I'm gonna give them to you for. And it was $450 each. And which, you know, at that time I said, you know, they're worth a lot more than that. And he said, I know. He said, but if you're gonna pay me, that's what you're gonna pay me. And you know, after talking a little bit, we shook hands, and I said, okay, that's what I'll do. I said, when I was shaking his hand, I said, but I'm also going to pay you $500 for the other books, the other boxes. He says, okay. Well, this was on a Sunday or Saturday. This was a Saturday evening. And, you know, everything's closed. It was 5 o'clock. Everything's closed. And so, luckily we had a few ATM cards, and we ended up maxing out 3 ATM cards. And Darren was actually on his way back, coming through that area, and he came in and had to give me some more money. And when I went over to, because I went over and took him the money first, I took him $1,500. I said, look, my son's coming through. I'll come back in about an hour and a half, and I'll give you the rest of the money. And he said, no problem. And when I went to come back to get him, to pay him after Darren got through, I went to pay him. He pretty much didn't want to take that money. And I said, you know, at his age, you know, he said, look, money's not an option. Money's not a problem to me. He didn't have no bills. I mean, I'd love to tell you the story of this man. It's just a phenomenal story of where he came from, and you know, the olden days, because, you know, he's talking about, you know, moonshining and things like that. It's a really cool story. And so glad I got to meet him. I wished I'd have got to meet his son. You know, it's something that me and Brandon would have loved to just went over and talked to him about it, because he seemed like a cool guy, just one of us, you know. Yeah. And you know, he done stocks and comics is what he done. And so it was kind of wild. But some of the things that, you know, what we knew is we had these 3 books, and that book right there is really what I seen first of all. So I want everybody to know, you know, I ended up paying this guy more than he wanted to take, even though he knew what he had. The thing is this, you know, he was way up in age. He wanted him to go to a family that would appreciate him. And he knew Gabe and me and Darren, and you know, just that what we do. And you know, we talked about Gabe's cave and talked about different things, which he don't get on line or anything like that. But it was really neat to meet this person, to be able to meet, you know, he showed me pictures of his son, and you know, and you know, it was a relief. I truly believe it was a big relief, because years ago he took this collection to a guy in Houston, and the guy in Houston he did not like. he felt that he did not feel comfortable with them. Let's just say that. And his brother said, load them things up, come back, and in one day, you're going to run across somebody that you want to have them. And when he told me that, and he looked at me, he says, and you're that person. I teared up too. I mean, it's something that I teared up because, you know, I love my boys. My boys are my life. And, you know, about every dime that I spend on them. One day, you know, I spend on them to have something one day. But it was just cool. You know, you meet people out here doing things that we do, go out into flea markets and different things. You never know who you're going to run across. And you know, Brandon and I, and even Gabe's been with us hunting on some things. You know, when we're out there hunting for these comics, these are, you know, we might go find, it's funny, we'll spend an hour and a half looking through comic boxes at flea markets, and we might pull out a $5 book or an $8 book or a $10 book or a book that may be on the rise. But never have we ever pulled anything like this. I mean, most people, and I'm just saying this, a lot of people would have, I believe, taken advantage of the older gentleman and you know, and just took the books. And I couldn't do that, and I wasn't going to do that. It's just not who I am. But I felt bad enough taking them for what I paid for them. But they are going to a good home. Y'all know we collect, and you know, Gabe's going to love it. This is what's cool. This is really our second. We have another Hulk. I actually bought a 181, you know, a while back at a show, and ended up trading it off for, you know, so we can get the Green Hornet #1. People probably think I'm crazy now on that, but it's still not for us. We still glad. But this is a really good copy. We think it's going to be a really nice grade after we press it and everything, and things like that. You know, the 180 is a nice copy. But you know, along with some of the finds that we found, we're going to put these back up over here on the side, and then you know, we found a lot of good stuff. We found like this one, and Defenders #1, a bunch of old war books, some cool Spider-Mans
By War Bonds.
And Champions. I'm just going to kind of put them out here and go through them. I don't know if you can see them on the camera. I'm sure you can. Some Thors, Invader #1, cool Russian book there. Human Torch, then Triple Action, some cool stuff. We had some old X-Men in there, Marvel Spectaculars, Super Villain Team Ups. That's a nice one. That's a nice one there.
X-Men 94.
X-Men 94, and it's in really, really good shape. Avengers Giant Size, First Iron Fist. It's pretty cool. Just a cool mesh up with Spider-Man and Hulk, because we like both of them. Defenders #1, pretty cool. And I think that's the first Fire Lord. They were just some of the ones, the key issues, some of the things that we'd seen, and we haven't gone through all of them. Misty's bagged and board like 400 yesterday. We bagged and board 400 of them yesterday. We still probably have 100 or so more. And some of the cool stuff, Brandon, you got them over there. Why don't you show them some of those? You know, it's funny because Brandon was, they're right there on that side. Aren't they? Oh no, I'm sorry, they're right here. Bunch of,
yeah, I love war books, and so when I saw the war books or the horror books, I got super excited because I love seeing those.
Oh yeah.
When I came downstairs and walked outside into the driveway, Brandon was sitting by the truck like,
Let's look.
look, like, give me the boxes, let's go. I need them.
The thing about flea market finds is if they're behind other boxes in the flea market, if they're not in short or long boxes and they're just like in regular cardboard boxes,
It's good.
that's a good thing. When I see comics not in short or long boxes, I get stoked.
And these were in 6 just square boxes You know, they were just regular boxes, not.
Because you hadn't been through them, so the first thing I saw was just all these random cardboard boxes, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
And all you could see on the top was older books, and you're like, yeah.
That's it.
It.
We had absolutely no clue what was in it. And the first time that we looked in it was that night we got back and Brandon was there. And we all just started going through them. And it was, you know, I let Brandon, it's funny because I was sitting there letting Brandon pull them out. You know what I'm saying? And you could see his face. He was just getting excited. every time he turned around, he was, oh, yeah, it's a good one. And, you know, some of the old war books, pre-code.
Yeah, pre-code, before the Comics Code Authority. Got War Adventures 13, just an amazing cover. I mean, look at the detail on that. Definitely not something they print today.
No.
Got Black Hawk number 63.
Actually, there were several Black Hawks in there. It's pretty cool. Just these are some of the war ones.
Jet Fighters number 7, another awesome cover. I like this one too, Atomic War.
Which one? Read Miles. Read that one.
Yeah, okay. On the front cover it says, "We'll plant this H-bomb right in the Kremlin and avenge what the Reds did to New York, Chicago, and Detroit. Bombs away." Gotta love pre-code war books, right?
Oh, yeah.
Warfront War is Hell. True War Exposés. Another cool...
Just a lot of cool covers, and there were several war books.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really cool.
My favorite is this
it's
one.
Definitely
that one is just, that's an amazing cover.
Oh, yeah. Where he threw a
knife.
He threw his bayonet. Stabbed him in the back.
And just the contortion of his face, and he drops his dynamite. I mean, just the
detail. The PSH is actually really nice.
The composition, you don't see composition like that.
Right.
Everything's got to be stylistic and like
I would have expected no detail on the barrel or anything there, but they actually have the rents.
Let's go to the old horror books. And like I said, we still have a lot more, but these are some of the old horror books that we got. And this, you know, when Brandon seen that one, he started thinking, oh, EC.
Yeah, anytime you see EC horror books, you know you're in a good place.
Yeah.
You know you're in a good spot. You know, the Hunt of Fear 17, really cool cover, zombie cover. This one's really interesting. I like the bubble here. This is the Beyond. No, you can never go back to your world. I, Serena, choose you to be my consort forever. And look at the guy, he's like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Got Weird Horrors number 9, The Map of Doom. That's a Joe Kubert cover. Anytime I see Joe Kubert pre-code, I'm also down.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody else is. Mysteries, Weird and Strange. Chipped off right here, but, you know, it doesn't detract from the main art. It's just another cool horror, pre-code horror book. Black Cat Mystery, I've seen a lot of these pop up sometimes.
Yeah.
And that people are really after them. Just a melted face. Just, it looks like the Toxic Avenger type
You know,
guy.
it's funny how we don't really watch a lot of horror movies, but we love horror books. It's pretty cool.
This one, painted cover.
Oh, yeah.
Nightmare. I love the painted cover. This one is probably, I guarantee
That is my favorite.
I guarantee you this was in the Seduction of the Innocent book probably, because the dude's heart.
Yeah, he pulls out his own heart out of his chest or whatever. That's a really cool book.
Out of Shadows, got the little puppeteer guy about to stab somebody in the bed.
Now, Brandon, you may not remember this, but early on, you brought us some pre-code horror books, and one of them was Out of the Shadows. I have one book that, you know, the cover's halfway missing or whatever, is no good, but it was cool to us.
Right.
And you gave that to me because you wanted to give me my first pre-code book.
First pre-code book, yeah. And it was a horror book. So.
It was, yeah. It was Out of the Shadows, I believe.
You got the Purple Claw and the Giant from the Tomb.
That is a cool book.
The weirdest tales of them all.
Yeah. This next one is too, Forbidden Worlds.
Forbidden Worlds.
We go through.
Sensation Mystery. Another cool pre-code book, and that's a DC one. Another awesome EC book, Shock Suspense Stories. Jolting tales of tension in the tradition of EC.
I have number 1. Shock Suspense Stories, number 1.
Which is another amazing book. I mean, these EC books are just, some of those books are crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Ventures into Weird Worlds, 22.
Really cool books.
Strange Mysteries, number 8.
What's cool about them is their colors are just popping. I mean, camera may not show it the way it is, but you can look at them colors. Them colors are really popping. They're really good looking books.
Tales of Horror 9. This is a popular series that people collect. The Tomb of Terror.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Get the skull cover. Another sensation mystery. And 1 million years ago.
Joe Kubert.
Another Joe Kubert cover. Anytime you see pre-code Joe Kubert, you're in good
That's
company.
actually a one-shot. I kind of looked up a little bit on that book because we didn't know about it, and it's not, and again, we're not looking at the prices of what all these are worth. We love the covers and some of the things that we don't get to see all the time. I mean, you can't go into a shop and find a lot of this stuff, and so. Yeah, just being able to see. I'd never seen this book before. I don't think you had either.
I hadn't either.
And so we had to kind of look it up and realize that it was just a one-shot. It says number 1, but it's just a one-shot. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool book in really good shape. Definitely looking at getting a lot of these graded and things like that. But
keep them preserved and
yeah, preserve them. Hopefully one day, Gabe and them would sell them, or give them to the grandkids one day, or their grandkids, or whatever. But hey, it was just it was a fun day.
I'm keeping my favorites.
it was a fun day. It started out fun, then got a little frustrated, and I'm not gonna lie. You know how you get frustrated, and then you're just ready to get home.
He didn't eat.
And I hadn't ate, and I was ready to get home. And
when he's on the road and he's driving and he didn't eat, he gets mad. And then, but if it wouldn't happen, they wouldn't have seen the shop.
And then you stop in a little small town in Louisiana that's like 1,000 people, and if
we would have stopped and ate,
you wouldn't have found it.
We wouldn't have found these. They would have closed. They'd have been closed by the time we got
Good thing you didn't eat.
Good thing I didn't eat. Yeah.
Starve.
So don't think one man's junk is not another man's treasure. I'm not saying these were junk. What I'm saying is there's a lot of junk shops, a lot of flea markets and things like that. And yeah, we've been hitting them up over the years and really haven't found much of nothing. But every once in a while we'll find a gem. And we turned over a leaf and boom, we found some gold.
The effort is worth it. If you keep hunting, you will find something eventually, and it's worth it. It's worth all that. It's worth all that digging just to find the gold.
And I'm like Brandon, and if he's a little bit better at me, I get overwhelmed. If we walk into a flea market or something, I ask if they got any comics, and if they say, yeah, there's a couple of booths over here, I'm kind of thinking, well, if there's anything good, this person's going to know, he's going to keep them, he's going to have them, and everybody in that flea market's going to take them to him, or whoever, and we're never going to find anything. So I'll go in there and I'll start looking through some things, and I'll look through the shadow, and if they've got them in alphabetical order, I'll look through shadow, and I'll look through green hornets and things like that. But your big Spider-Mans are going to be gone because everybody collects them. So every once in a while I'll find a book here or there, $1 in the dollar bin or something like that. Never really find nothing. But Brandon will go in there, and he'll stand there all day long looking through their books, man. And
every once in a while I'll find stuff.
He knows something that's coming up. I remember when, let's see, what did we buy? We bought a few of them. I can't remember where it was, but you'd found, I don't even remember which ones they were.
I found some X-Men books in the past. I found...
We did find a bunch of X-Men books before they really started popping about 4 or 5 years ago.
I found First Rocket Raccoon. for like, I think it was like
$5.
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
$5. He did do that first. Yes.
Marvel preview, Satana, number whatever,
seven.
number
Yeah.
7, what it is.
Or number 5 or number 7, one of the two.
Yeah, I found that.
Found that for $5.
Yeah. I've been to a flea market and found the first Black Panther.
That's right.
I've found the death of Norman Osborn, like early Spider-Man stuff. You know, it just, you got to keep hunting. You got to keep after it.
I found the first Deathstroke signed by George Perez and Martin.
I found that guy on Facebook from Hooks.
That's right.
That bought comics from your shop back in the day.
Yeah, when we were kids, yeah. When I was a kid, I had a shop, and he was a kid too, and his grandmother would bring them in, and he'd buy comic books from us, and then 30 years later, I ended up going.
There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff in there. Ended up buying his whole collection, so it's pretty cool.
Bought all your books back.
Bought all my books back. Yeah. Anyway, that's really our segment today of
It's
our
our
flea
topic.
market find. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. It was more of a. I'll tell you this. I'm going back to see the guy, and I'm going to bring him a bottle of bourbon, and might even have a drink with him. I don't drink too much, but I might have a drink with him because he seemed like a really good guy, somebody that I'd like to just sit down and talk to. He enjoyed the time that I spent with him, and I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, he's a lot like me, and he was thinking that I was a lot like him, and what we do for our kids is priceless.
Because a lot of times, when you're hunting comics, it's not about the hunt. It's also about the people you meet along the way.
Absolutely, it is. It is a lot about the people that you meet along the way.
It's not the destination, it's the journey.
All right, well, let's give some stuff away. All right, well, who we're giving away this week?
Andrew Fry.
Andrew Fry. Well, let's pull this stuff out to make sure everybody's seen them.
That's how it runs.
You think about these. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Khaleesi.
Superman. Wonder Woman. Thanos.
You go.
The Witcher. Spock.
A lot of Spocks this year.
Superman. Loki. I don't know what's your name.
That's Hermione.
Okay, that's right. That is Hermione.
I can't think of her name.
Doctor Strange.
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. Clark Kent again.
You like Superman?
The Joker. I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
That's Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Oh, Jon Snow from the Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones.
All right, well, let's give them away.
Let's give them away. All right.
Congratulations, winners. Make sure that you've put up all the information in the form so we can email those out to you as soon as possible.
Good job.
Great job. And congratulations to the loot box winner. I would love to see some more unboxing videos. I've seen a couple. Is it Jared Cochran, I believe, did one?
Jared Cochran. Donna Surface
did one. We'd love to see some more unboxing videos.
Absolutely. Please. Yeah, anytime you get a card or something, please put it on your social media.
We want to know your reactions to our stuff.
Well, we're sending out anywhere from 5 to 7 cards every single week, original art cards. Be sure to tag Gabe's Cave on it, and be sure to tag the artist on it, because I'll tell you what, I've seen where the artists are actually responding to the people's posts. So it would be great to see that, and just give a little bit of what do you call them? Little kudos out to the artists, definitely. To the artists, and we love every time you do one for us. So we thank you very much.
Speaking of artists, let's meet this week's artist.
Welcome to this week's Meet the Artist. We're here today with Bennie Thompson Jr. He's an awesome guy. He's a friend of ours. Welcome, Bennie.
How's it going,
How you doing
man?
Today? I'm fantastic, and I am glad you are on here with us.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Bennie was, I don't know why I said yeah like that. I'm sorry. Bennie was supposed to actually be here in person. We could not get a good time, so we ended up having to do it like this. But Bennie will be down at some point for a future episode. We just don't know when yet. So for, just for Meet the Artist purposes, we should go ahead and ask him some questions. So, Bennie, who would win in a street fight, a taco or a grilled cheese?
Taco, because it's tacos from the streets. That's what street tacos are called.
Hey, I feel you there. Actually, I'm with the taco mostly too, but I think some other people have said grilled cheese, and I don't know why.
That's like the basic. That's like the basic of the basic. They don't know how to do nothing special. It's bread and cheese, man, with butter.
Yeah, I'm just saying. A lot of people were like, taco because it's got a hard shell and you can stab them. I'm like, it's just a street taco. It's just
That's
a street taco.
Preconceived notions.
I mean, you're getting a little crazy with it. Just to answer the question.
I've never seen. All I can say is I've never seen a grilled cheese truck in the streets selling grilled cheese sandwiches. That's all I gotta say.
I haven't either. Maybe we should start that. Maybe we could actually revolutionize the food truck industry with street grilled cheeses. We can make them fancy.
That's going to be the cheapest product supply, I tell you that. Cheese and bread and butter, that's all you need.
We can make them fancy. We can throw some bacon in there, or tomato, whatever. I mean, we can make fancy ones, We could we call it like, I don't know.
That might work. Sometimes keeping it simple is the best way to go.
Yeah, what would we call it? Street cheese?
Street cheese, straight cheese, whatever. I don't know, man. It's a lot of names.
All right, well, we'll go on to a real... Do what?
Street grill, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. We'll come up with something clever at some point. We'll go on to a real question, though. How did you get into art?
Well, growing up, I was a pastor's kid, and I was extremely bored. So, while I was at church, one of the other church members' son was drawing, and he was drawing Professor Xavier from X-Men. I was like, I know who that is. And then I just asked him for a pencil and paper, and ever since, that's what I've been doing my entire life, even now.
I think everybody as a child who went to church probably drew while they're sitting through service at some point or another.
I was that guy.
Yeah, I feel you. I've done it. I feel you.
Yeah.
I probably was not drawing Professor X. I was probably drawing a car. I'll be honest with you. That's my thing. I like cars, but...
I already know. Know.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
9/11, that's all I got to say.
You what?
The 9/11s, that's all I got to say.
Hey. All right, well, how long have you been doing art? I know you just answered it, but how old were you whenever you were drawing? I don't know if you just said that or not, but...
I'm 33, so I started 30 years ago.
30 years ago. You've been drawing and doing art, painting and everything under the art label for 30 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy to say that you're 33 and you've been doing it for 30 years. That's the thing. A lot of people like you meet and are like, oh, I've been doing it for 10 years or whatever. I can't. I don't remember who it was. One of the other artists on here said he was like, oh, I've been doing it for like a year and a half. I'm like, dang, you already got in signed with Tops and everything. You just start. He was like, I just picked it up and started doodling one day.
He was doing something previous to that because nobody just comes out like that. Something that circulates in the mind that's similar to that process, and it bleeds over into that kind of world. Something. It's no different than like, huh?
No, go ahead.
So like it's no different than somebody who's an artist and they learn how to do martial arts and they're naturally good at it.
Right.
They're both visuals, but one's more physical than the other.
Right. Well, that's crazy that you've been doing it for 30 years now. That's older than I am. That's not by much, but it is older than I am. What is your favorite piece you've ever drawn or painted or whatever, created?
My favorite piece, it wasn't an original painting. It was a master copy. So we had a project back when I was in art college, and I've always been a huge fan of Alex Ross. Still to this day, nothing's changed. Still one of the best. And I decided to paint one of his pictures, Batman, outside of his suit. So he was like taking his suit off, had his little bat cape sitting on this little coat hanger or something like that, and he was tending to his wounds in his back. So I painted that with water, brush, ink, on watercolor paper, and from nowhere, because I never really dabbled with that stuff, from nowhere it came out looking just like his stuff. And I was like, that's crazy. So when I started dealing with that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start digging in this more, and that's what led me to doing some of the stuff I do today. But what's really crazy is a lot of stuff I do now is more like simplified. Like this shirt right here, like this is my design, and I print them and stuff. So it's like I'm learning that there's other ways to do things too. Like I said before, sometimes simple is the best way to go. But I still love that detail, man. I still love doing. That's why I love painting. That's why I love painting those cars, man. It was so much fun for me. I actually enjoyed every single moment of it.
Speaking of the cards, let's go over a few of them real quick.
All right.
Just when we'll do a good halfway point here and talk about some of the cards. Let's start off with the two RoboCops back to back. These things are super awesome. I don't know how well you can see that on the top piece up there. These things are awesome. I love that you do. It wasn't just like, oh, RoboCop and then Terminator or RoboCop and then so it was like the two RoboCops back to back or face to face. I like the back to back. I don't know how did you have it done, or did it matter?
Actually, I like the back to back too because it shows two different generations.
Right.
That's before our time, and then the time that we live in now.
Right. Oh, super.
I wasn't alive when that movie came out originally, I believe.
Just quick, how did you feel about the remake?
It was too much talking, not enough walking.
Not as cool as the original, but still cool?
It's cool to a certain extent.
Right. Not as cool as the original, though.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm there with you. So we'll go on. Let's do a Zod. Let's do a Zod. So tell us about the Zod. Why Zod?
Because that was the first time they made a really dope Superman movie that wasn't cheesy.
I agree.
Like, no disrespect to Chris Reeve, he did make some amazing movies. Superman 2 is still one of my favorite movies to this day. But that version of it was serious.
I really liked Snyder's whole thing he had going, and I hate that they didn't. I hate that they took him out of it, and then they made this goofy whatever in place of his. I hate that they did that. Snyder could have had a really, really cool series. I would say even competing with the MCU. Not quite as much screen time, not 10 years worth, but I think they could have done a lot of really cool stuff with it. Made a really cool Justice League series for sure.
quiet as it's kept, they've been taking notes from MCU. MCU set the standards, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh no, 100%, 100%. Why do you think all this new stuff's out? You know, you got Invincible and The Boys. Man, without the MCU, their 10 years of stuff and success, none of them they wouldn't have done it. I mean, why do you think like Fantastic Four flopped and this and that flopped and nothing ever? The only thing that's ever been as big of a following and has been like just people are gung ho about it was the Dark Knight trilogy. I mean, honestly, everything else is just kind of flip floppity. You know what I mean?
Dark Knight trilogy, but also Blade, man, because Blade is an MCU movie.
Well, Blade's not in the MCU, but Blade is Marvel, and Blade was good. But I'm saying, like, when you think of Blade, you don't really think of, superhero like that. It's like it could be its own standalone type.
He's an anti-hero for sure. He's definitely an anti-hero.
Right.
That's not for kids.
It's right. It's like its own standalone thing. There wasn't too many like Marvel or just superhero in general trilogies or even standalone movies that could have got more that stuck. I mean, the Tobey Maguire 3, they did pretty good. The Dark Knight did good. Things pre-MCU that have been failing, and then the MCU picked it up, and that's when everyone was like, whoa, we can make superhero movies, and they stick. Yeah. But not all of them, obviously. Not all of them. So we'll go here, and I guess we'll do the other. I don't know if this is the other half of it or what, but we have is that a Barry Allen, right? The Flash?
Yep.
And that is Ezra, right, from the MCU?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Yeah, he is, fantastic. I say it all the time, but...
I'm not gonna lie, man, that face, the part where his actual skin is showing, took the longest more than anything else. Like, it was crazy. I had to wait for it to dry and let it fade in slowly. It took me about an hour to do that by itself.
So with just these 4 sitting here, tell us what do you use to do your cards? Tell us about them. Like what's the process here and the time, and just tell us about them a little bit.
I draw them out. I draw them all out before I paint anything. I draw them out in pencil, and then I just go back in and paint them. And sometimes I mark off certain areas with like a acrylic marker. So it's still paint, but it's just in the marker. So I'm hitting different areas to make sure I remember that this place is a dark spot, so I don't, mix them all up, because sometimes that happens. But luckily, because it's acrylic paint, you can paint over it. But
okay, yeah.
Majority of times I'm on point with that. I normally get it right the first time.
So do you do? Are most of your cards acrylic? And like you said, you sketch them out. And most of them are acrylic.
Yeah,
I got you. Because there's not a lot of acrylic. A lot of times has a lot of depth to it, or at least you can feel more textures to it. And your cards aren't really. They're not like super thick or whatever. It seems like you did it, one go. Like you said,
I use water-based acrylic because that makes it fade out a little better.
Okay, all right.
So it's like the step below using watercolor. Paint. So it's like
right. Yeah, I didn't know, because I was saying it's quite a bit thinner, but it's still, and it's I don't know why I go to that word every time. Fantastic, and people probably laugh at me for that. I don't know. It's my word. Deal with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a good word. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And we'll go here with a Black Panther here, and I know you can't. Let's just put this one here. Maybe you can see it on the striping here on his suit. It's like it's a metallic. It's shiny. I don't know what do you use to do stuff like that.
Acrylic marker. That's my new go-to for like some special effects. It's quick and efficient, and it gets the point across.
I got you. That's beyond my knowledge and my skill. Maybe if I had a little more time under my belt, but I'm impatient. I don't like to let stuff dry.
Yeah, man, I had to get used to that again. I had to get used to it again.
And you were talking to me earlier. You said that you just started doing paints because you don't normally paint. And you said that you just started with these. Painting again for the series, and then you just like picked it up like you had been doing it forever, and they're still working.
It's been almost 10
right?
years, bro.
It's been
almost 10 years since it's been almost 10 years since I painted.
Really? Yeah. And you just picked it up.
Like I said, I told Marty. I told Marty, I was like, man, you understand, I haven't done this in so long, but since I've started doing it, you made it fun again.
Oh, awesome.
It brought back an old passion.
I didn't do
I'm
much.
thinking
But I'm
about
glad we
going
could
back
help.
to traditional. So what?
I said I didn't do much, but I'm glad we could help.
Hey, inspiration is just as good.
So you, let's talk on that a little bit. You said you do a lot of. You said going back to originals. Do you do a lot of digital, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Do a lot of digital, and we're here talking about it. You want to show them your really awesome digital setup? Your camera's probably going to be a little wonky when you put it back, but that's okay. I don't care.
All right.
Yeah, check this out. And is that like a big touch screen?
Yeah. Well,
table?
it's like a pin mark. So it's like I got two of these big pins that I use,
Okay.
and then I got the brain.
All right.
But also I got a Mac over here for scanning all my work. So I have two computers that I use, and then I have a laptop that's touchscreen and tablet.
Okay.
So that's mainly for like typography or like final finishes. It's not strong enough to maintain the power this computer has to do what I do. Because it's a lot of detail. Like I can have one layer and it still be like almost a gig because of how many strokes I put into it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
For the original file, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's huge.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, a gig for a single or a couple layers or whatever for a file that's a lot.
And it's normally about 18 by 24. It's nothing bigger than that.
Wow.
But it's just like, people talk about how digital painting is not a real thing. So I treat it as such. So instead of just like erasing or undoing, I paint over what I did to blend it all out.
To me, I hate when people say that it's not an original. Like, I get that you don't have like the physical original copy here, but to say someone didn't go in and take their time and actually do the work needed to make that is crazy. Yeah, now some people can just pop a picture up there, trace it, and then make it look cartoony or whatever. I get it, but like people who do like digital originals like that, like that's just as much time and effort as it is just to do one of these, and less messy.
Yeah.
You know,
I believe me, I know better than most. And that's doing digital took me longer than it did to do that. I just did it off the bat. This is harder because you have to create a texture that doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah, I mean you can do pressure and you can feel it, and you can see it, you can pick it up and be like, okay, yeah, no. It's all like 2D there, just flat.
Yeah.
You know.
Traditionally, to be honest, traditional work is much easier to do. I don't have to make the textures. Automatically going to make it naturally because of the brush and all that stuff and the strokes. It's going to build it naturally.
Which do you like doing more? Which is more fun to you?
I ain't gonna lie. Before I started doing the painting again for you guys for the first and second season, I just thought digital was where I was gonna stay. But I'm feeling traditional, and I bought two humongous pads, like eight. I think it's 18 by 24, but 12 by 18. I think it's 18 by 24. They're like this doggone big, man. I'm gonna be painting. I got two big old thick things of these things, watercolor paper. I'm finna paint my butt off.
Nice. I like to hear that. Well, we'll keep on going here. Next up, we have a Spawn. It's a really cool Spawn here. I don't really know a whole lot about the Spawn story, but I do know who he is. We have ourselves a cap. That's a really good cap, Chris Evans. I don't know that you could ever do a cap. No, I'm sorry. I don't know that there could ever, not you, but I don't know that there could ever be a cap that wasn't Chris Evans to me. Just like Iron Man is
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's Robert Downey Jr. You know, there maybe could be another Hulk. There maybe could be another like Hawkeye, you know, but there are certain people in the MCU that there will never be a replacement.
Yeah.
You know, Black Widow.
That's why I got to make it on like they did with Falcon. They had to make him his own person. Yeah. Instead of making him like Cap.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but Falcon
that wouldn't have went well with the crowd. They'd be like, this is whack. This is not Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Like that's who that is. I'm just saying. And we have ourselves a really cool one here. I mean, we've had several people do this, but to me, this is a show or a series that most people don't talk about. We have ourselves a Caesar. I really like those movies. I have not seen the last one yet. I was gonna go watch it.
You need to see the last one.
I know. That has Woody Harrelson in it, right?
Yeah, was it Woody Harrison or something like that?
Harrison.
I don't remember.
I don't remember his name. Woody something. Yeah, I know he was in it, and I was gonna go watch it in theater, and I didn't have a chance, and that was like 4 years ago. So that's just my bad. That's me being myself.
Caesar's one of my favorite characters, though.
Really? Yeah. Just in general, or in the show?
Can I be real about that? Why I like him so much?
Go ahead.
I watched every single one of those movies, and I fell in love with the fact that you just saw a real leader be born and grow in this world. Like, it's crazy. You see different phases of him, but he stayed a leader even to the end. Like, that's hard to do in a world like this, man.
For sure.
He's been through some stuff.
And I like how he was the I like how he was the main character. It wasn't necessarily the humans. It was him, and it shows, all the things that he's been through.
But the fact that he stayed within himself to be a leader, man. Even to his last, no, I can't say that. No, I ain't gonna say that last part because
you already ruined it. I'm not watching it.
You haven't seen the movie.
No, I'm just kidding. I was still planning on watching it. I just have to find a time to watch it. I need to watch them all over again. I know my wife hasn't seen them, so she should watch them with me. And the last two here we have are Thor and the Hulk. That's another one. It's going to be hard to ever replace Hemsworth as Thor. I say that a new Hulk could be different. I don't know. I mean, he did it good. I don't even remember the dude's name. What's the guy's name that plays Hulk?
Ruffalo.
Mark
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. See, that's the bad thing. You think of Thor and you're like, that's Chris Hemsworth. Think of who's the Hulk? What's the
three of them? It's 3 Hulks. You got Eric Bana, Edward Norton.
Yeah. So, fantastic cards. I said it again. Awesome cards, and I love how you stick to one style. You don't mix things up. This is your style. It's unmistakable. When we get these in, I mean, you could send us a whole set of cards along with 50 other people, and they show me the cards without looking at the back. I promise you, I know your style. They are very unmistakable with the way you do things. Not a lot of color. It's like your mind wants you to put color in them, and I know you didn't do any color for even the Riddick one you did. Last season you did a Riddick, and I don't think there was any color in it, but in my mind I'm looking at it like I see color there, even though I know it's all just blacks, whites, and grays, and maybe just a little bit of I could be wrong. See, I'm wanting to do it here. It even looks more like a sepia type of color here, like a little bit of tan in it, but I don't know. I'm probably wrong. That's just what I'm saying. They're just
you know how I paint these. So when I look at the reference, I paint them in color, meaning I look at the color and paint it gray.
Do what? What now?
I look at the actual color. I don't so. In a normal situation, what I would do is I would make a picture grayscale, right?
Okay.
A picture reference. I'd make it grayscale so I can, translate the language onto the card.
Right.
But
right.
What I do instead is I've learned to paint in grayscale while I'm looking at a color image.
And you can decide what color it is to match it on there. And yeah, that's crazy. My mind doesn't understand how that works. Just so you know, I don't.
To be honest with you, I'm so natural with it. I don't understand how it works sometimes either.
Yeah, that's one of the things. To me, I want to look at this, and I'm looking at this in person here. I'm looking at this one, this cap, and I'm sitting here maybe his cowl does have a little bit of blue in it. Nah, maybe this has a little bit of purple in it. I think his helmet was kind of purpley. No, it's not there. So I don't know. It's
the reason why I brought that up is because of what you said. It looked like I wanted to put color in there because I was looking at color when I painted it.
Yeah.
So I reverse engineered the color into grayscale.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's they're cool. They're really cool. And I hope that people, I hope that people win these cards and appreciate them as much as I do because they're so neat. I just, so I said, your cards are quite unmistakable. And actually, I don't know where I put them at. I may have taken them back. Nope, there they are.
You gonna show your little special?
I'm gonna show them. Just a quick overhead here of the ones. He did these two for Gabe, so we got Sub-Zero and Scorpion because everybody knows. They should know by now that Gabe loves Mortal Kombat, and these are one of his two favorite characters on there. So quick little view here, and then this is Fantastic Mr. Fox, and this is not why I say fantastic, but everybody. Wait, we have Gabe here now.
Them Mortal Kombat's is mine.
Everybody says we. I guess my dad and some other people make fun of me because I like the show Fantastic Mr. Fox, and that's I guess why they think I say fantastic, but it's not. But it's an awesome card nonetheless, and it's going to be another fine addition to my collection. I'm like General Grievous over here.
Happy to oblige, man. It's not over. When I see you guys in person, I'm gonna have some shirts for you guys.
I'm ready for them. I'll rep some Benny shirts. Don't think I won't.
Oh, it's dedicated to you, each individual person. Who already gets one. Yeah, it's not for everybody else. It's just for you.
Oh, even better.
I got one, and I know what you like, so you're gonna be surprised.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
And what's cool about my job right now, where I work, like I said, I only work in 2 weeks. I only work 7 days. Mm-hmm. So that I can take 4 days off and not use any PTO or anything.
Right.
So
we're
good.
So I got one more question for you here. I have to ask everybody this. Do you like the prequels, the originals, or the sequels better in Star Wars?
Prequels show more substance. I mean, no, I'm sorry. The originals, the original Star Wars movies, they actually show more substance in their storytelling. The other ones, they made up as they went along. They definitely made up as they went along. Like the fact that Samuel Jackson was Mace Windu and nobody brings him up. Like even after that, like even with the Rogue One or anything, like yeah, you're not gonna say that it was a black Jedi. Nobody gonna talk about that.
I liked him as Mace Windu.
Oh, he was dope. They had to cheat to kill him. He was dope.
I'm just saying, I like the originals better. I like the prequels better, and then I like the originals, and the sequels should have never existed. I can't
disagree with that, bro.
Yeah,
I prefer the originals over the prequels. I mean, don't get me wrong. From what they were good. But the sequels, you're right. They should have never did that.
No, they definitely should have. I like the originals. Don't get me wrong.
Foundation or something.
Yeah, they're like right on par with. I mean, I'm not gonna say like, oh wow, the prequels were just 100 times better. No, that's not the case. I just like the rebellion style where there was a bunch of Jedi. There could have been a ton of Jedi and a ton of Sith out there, fighting and all that stuff. And any race, species, whatever, they were all Jedi. It didn't matter. They're just a bunch of cool dudes with some cool armor and cool robes fighting with laser swords. That's what I like.
Jedi's are my favorite out of the whole thing. That's the only reason I watch Star Wars.
Jedi?
I don't care about the troopers. I don't care about none of them. And I got tired of seeing Palpatine walking around.
I know.
I really got tired of him.
My thing is, I like the Jedi and I like the troopers. I really like the troopers. I love the armor. And I love the armor variations. Especially.
Have you seen the new TV show on Disney?
Nope.
Bad Batch.
I have not seen Bad Batch yet.
You need to watch that, bro.
I know. Currently, my wife and I are currently watching through Clone Wars because she's never seen them all, and then we're gonna watch Rebels, and then we're gonna watch Bad Batch. So don't spoil it for me.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's dope.
I avoid all Star Wars threads on
Spoilers.
Instagram and everything, so I just don't even want to click it at all. So, all right.
I want to bring up something you said earlier.
Do what?
Have you watched the entire Invincible series?
No, I watched 4 or 5 episodes, maybe.
So the next, I think it's only like 8 episodes in the season. The next 4, don't let no kids be around when you watch that. It's really bad, bro.
Yeah, I know. I live.
Bad.
It's just me and Allison. I got
It's
I think
rough,
3
man.
episodes in, and I got bored of it, and I looked up how it ended.
You looked it up how it ended?
Yeah, and then how the comics go.
Comics are worse.
Yeah, I know. I got bored of it. I'm probably gonna finish watching it anyways, but I did get bored of it. So I don't know.
It was a slow start, but when it starts, and it's bad, man.
That's what everybody said.
I'm a grown man and I'm traumatized.
Superhero stuff doesn't do it for me as much as say Star Wars and other stuff like that, but you know, it is what it is.
This ain't a superhero show.
No, I know it's not. I know. All right, well, throw out some plugs for us so we can make sure that everybody can go hit you up and check out your stuff, maybe order some stuff or do a commission with you. So what you got? Where can they find you?
I got my Instagram at dark_havoc_ or dark_havoc_illustration. That's the name of my Instagram. So remember, that's 2 underscores, one between Dark Havoc and one between Havoc and Illustration. So, and then my Facebook, just Dark Havoc Illustration. Just look it up; it'll pop up.
And you don't have any website or Etsy or anything like that?
I'm actually working on that now. I'm building that up now. That's what I've been spending my time on, because I got a lot of designs I need to put my T-shirt prints on, and I've actually bought models and stuff to put my images on so they can see what it looks like on a person.
Oh, cool. And that's it. That's all the questions I have for you today. It's been awesome talking with you.
You too, man.
I'm certainly glad that you were going to come down at some point, and I hope that everybody that wins one of these cards appreciates his awesome work he's put in here, and the fact that he has restarted his painting hobby for you guys. That hasn't been done in 10 years. So, why would you not want one? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well. Thank you for joining us today, Benny. It was good talking with you. And,
you too, man.
I guess we will see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Hope you enjoyed that Meet the Artist with Bennie Thompson. Benny's been one of our friends for quite a long time. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, I guess you'd say, we met him at a small Comic-Con in St. Charles, Missouri. We were up there and ended up meeting him and meeting Seth Groves and Candace Daly, all 3 of them for the first time. Actually, those 3, Ashley Harp, we met her there. And a couple of other artists that we've talked about throughout the Gabe's Cave. I think we showed some of the original artwork covers in some of the episodes, the early on episodes in the original Gabe's Cave. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ashley Harp, we met her there. Met Candace Daly, Seth Groves, and Bennie Thompson there. All 4 of them we really liked. You know, it's funny. They're just normal people just like us. They're great to visit with and talk to and things like that.
And if you want to win some of these cards, just remember that you need to like, subscribe,
hit the notification bell.
Make sure you comment, hit that link in the description so we can get all your information so we can send those cards or a loot box out right away.
Be sure when you're filling out those cards, filling out the giveaways. I've seen this week. You know, I've seen in the weeks past too. When you're filling out the giveaway, be sure to list your top 5, because normally you're going to get one of those. Even if you're like number 7, you're probably still going to get one of them. Matter of fact, I was doing some, I think last week or the week before, and just about everybody got their top pick of their cards. So that's great.
Awesome.
Well, we couldn't do this without our great sponsors, rpghiring.com. If you're interested in a new career, you live in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, or Tennessee, or if you're willing to move to one of those states,
Just looking on, not
Hey.
wanting to live where you're at.
You know, you look at the time that we're in today, where, you know, it's hard to find work, but there's really a lot of jobs out there. You know, RPGhiring.com hires you. You can work from home. You can work out of one of their fantastic offices. You know, you think about the kind of money that they make. You know, when you can earn up to around $500 a day. If you multiply that times 52 weeks in a year, pretty much what you can make anywhere from 80 to 125,000 your first year. I know it sounds like where can you go find a job like that? Well, let me go ahead and tell you something. RPGhiring.com, check it out. And seriously, they are a really good sponsor, and we're very thankful that they sponsor this show.
Tell them Marty sent you.
Tell them Marty sent you. Make sure you, if you want to see us at some of the cons, let's just talk about a few things. We've got a few more things. Collecticon,
June 26th and 27th.
June 26th and 27th in Frisco, Texas. That's going to be a really good sized con this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
If you like My Hero Academia, like half the voice cast is going to be there. Plus, the Gary King Pokemon's going to be back. There's just going to be double the size of what it was the first time we were there.
Double the size. A lot of artists that are going to be there, creators, and there's going to be lots of vendors that And one thing about Collecticon is they have all kinds of stuff, so that's great. Dallas Fan Expo is September the 17th through the 19th. We're going to be there. We're just not going to be set up. We're going to be walking around. We're going to have a little table on the OMG, a horror anthology table. Rob Dieterle and Tony Rodriguez and them are going to allow us to set up there a little bit. We're just going to have a small table. Be sure to find us at one of those. We're giving away stuff, so we'll have our backpacks on full of stuff to give away. So if you come across one of us wearing a Gabe's Cave shirt, make sure you find us. If you come up to us, we'll be sure to give you something, okay? Cowtown Comic-Con, we're going to be a big presence there. We're going to be holding the panels. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to have live Facebook, live YouTube going just about the whole weekend. Big setup we're going to have there. That's Cowtown Comic-Con in Hurst, Texas. Hurst, Texas, and that is July the 24th and 25th. Make sure you're going to be there. It is sold out. I mean, it's a sold out Comic-Con already. The vendors, the artists. I mean, it's going to be a big show. Lots of great artists and several celebrities going to be there. One of the big artists is, what's his name? Miko
Suyan.
Yeah, he's going to be there. He's a phenomenal artist, but he's definitely going to be there.
And he's going to have a con exclusive cover just for that show.
There will be a con exclusive cover for that show, and also there's somebody else that's going to be at that show, but I can't say his name right now.
You said that last time.
I know, but surely by the next show we'll be able to meet
You tell me when the camera's off.
I'll tell you when the camera's off. Last but not least is SpaCon, September the 24th and 24th and 26th. That's in Hot Springs, Arkansas. That is practically like a hometown con to us. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing the panelists there. We're going to be holding interviews. We're going to be set up there giving away all kinds of stuff. Backpacks, drawstring backpacks, lanyards, stickers, all kinds of stuff there. Make sure you stop by and see us there. This show is going to be huge too, just like Cowtown Comic-Con. It's just about sold out. I know there's 75 artists that's already booked. It's a matter of fact, it's a waiting list. There's Michael Golden that's going to be there. There's Tony Rodriguez, Candace Daly, Seth Groves, David Sanchez. A lot of the guys that are going to be there.
Plus, the actress who played Tank Girl, Lori Petty, is going to be there.
She is going to be there, yeah. And they've got a couple more people that I don't remember who it is yet, but they've announced that they're going to be there too. So it's going to be a big show, a lot of great people, if you need directions, if you need help with anything, be sure to call me, message me. Everybody has my number. Everybody knows me on Facebook and things like that. Just message me and I can help you get everything taken care of and tell you where we're going to stay at and stuff like that. But that's September 24th and 26th. And again, Cowtown Comic-Con, which is July the 24th and 25th in Hertz, Texas. You don't want to miss either one of those cons. They're going to be great. Going to be great. Last but not least, we're going to talk about our new exclusive cover. And that is Department of Truth number 10. It's William Russell cover. He's the cover artist on it. It's being pre-ordered now. You can actually get on our website, gabescave.com. You can look on Facebook or Instagram. You can even go to William Russell's Facebook or his social media, and you can actually go ahead and pre-order it now. They'll be coming in the late part of June. We're going to be having a live signing right here in the studio. William Russell will be here, and we're going to be shipping them to CGC, and you can either get blue labels or yellow labels. You can get remarks on them. You can do all kinds of stuff, and it's on our Facebook page right now, where you can go in and you can request a copy, and we'll go ahead and get you invoiced and get everything done, so you'll have your copy. 500 is it's a very limited run, 500 total, and we're only pre-selling 300 of them.
Department of Truth is a big deal. It's pretty much sold out every issue, so it's a hot book. It's something definitely you want to pick up, especially a variant cover like we're producing.
And this is William Russell's first big cover on the big three companies: Image, DC, and Marvel's what we call the big three. This is his first cover for Image Comics. And, we're really excited for William and what he's been grinding for over 21 years in the industry, and for him to, for us to help him get his, wasn't really us, is our story. If you got to hear our story with me and William, is pretty cool. But, for him to be able to do our first big cover too, our first big, three.
Well, our philosophy is always, to prop up artists, up and coming artists, give them a platform, show them off. That's why we have the cards. That's why we do the interviews. So this is just taking it to the next step of getting another artist out there that deserves the attention, deserves to be on Image Comics. And he's a great guy. He's also known as the Angry Artist, very entertaining. It's a great book.
Yeah, he's been a great support of us, and we've been a big support of his too. One thing that we're going to do, we give away stuff all the time to a lot of our subscribers and stuff, but one thing we're fixing to do is we're going to have another drawing coming up, probably on next week's drawing. I'm not sure next week's or not, but we're fixing to have a big drawing for our artists. We're going to have a giveaway just for our artists. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and, no, I can't do it now, but we're going to have a big drawing for our artists only. These are the artists that have joined us for Gabe's Cave, or been a part of Gabe's Cave. When I say that, it's going to be 2 loot boxes. It's going to be full of Copic markers, alcohol markers, pencils, and all kinds of art supplies. And these are going to be 2 loot boxes that are going to be full of art supplies. And I'm talking about, I just spent a bunch of money on
top shelf stuff.
Copic markers. I promise you, I did not know they were that high. They're high. Yeah, but I bought 6 sets.
Art supply loot box.
Art supply loot boxes, and they're going to be for our artists only. So we want to give back to the community. We love doing that, and so this is going to be and it's probably, like I said, it's probably going to be on next week, I would think. I'm going to get the boxes set up, and we're going to show them here.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all very much for being with us today on Flea Market Find of the Year. It's really been the find of the last 5 years for me, but it's been great. Thank y'all for joining us. The original OG here in the house. That don't happen too much. Pretty excited. A lot of fun.
Tell us in the comments what the first appearance of Black Suit Spider-Man is. Bye.